Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Ryan. The bad music is playing. I don't know if this is the bad music, but at the end of the last episode, a villain emerged from our cast of characters. And I'm pretty proud of myself because I kind of called it in the moment right before it happened. Sentius, it turns out, has had a memory the whole to quote Sam Reich from Game Changer, he's been here the whole time. He has a memory of every one of our loops so far, 9 of them. He sort of holds all of the power over me, and I don't know what to do. Yeah, I truly have no idea how to solve this problem, so we're just going to keep marching forward one step at a time. Long story short, Sentius controls the time loop because at this point, he can basically ensure that the golden rule gets broken, and when it does, then in order for me to stay here, I need to make it back to the shrine, and so this cycle continues, and there's probably a way out of this having something to do with the gods, but I haven't figured out what it is yet. And there's definitely something to do with Sentius's, vision of himself as a god. I'm sure we can use that to our advantage. But anyways, during the last episode, we also found the lower cistern, the upper cistern. We found Scintilla, missing Scintilla. Spoke with Horatius. Spoke with Sentia very briefly, who's sitting over there crouching around like a weirdo right now. I'm not sure what she's doing. I kind of want to explore the rest of the villa here real quick, and then go from here and figure out what's next. The other thing I want to do is I want to restart the loop to see if how Sentius will respond to me. I sort of think like his memory continues, so I sort of think it will just be the same as always, right? Fuck you, buddy. I can't shoot him, which I would really like to. There's Horatius. We checked at the end of the last episode. No new dialogue. Absolutely.
Right. Please keep an eye out for anything.
I'm going to go speak to Equitia very quickly, because I have a flower to give her from Galerius, and Galerius is our only hope. Shit, where'd you go? Equitia? Equisha? Whatever your name is? Where are you? Oh my god, I just remembered something. Last episode, we learned that there was a cave behind the theater. I know what the theater is. The theater is where we have the thing every time. Hold up. Let me see if I can find Equisha, and then we need to figure out what to do next. Should be down in this area? In her, It's getting so late. I have a feeling she won't be. It's probably over by the theater. Let's go to the theater. I need to go this way. It's getting very late indeed. Unless she's up here. Nope. Can I take some fall damage here? I'd like to. I kind of want to kill myself. Just break the game. Okay. Oh, man. The fun part about... lots fun about this game. One of the fun parts about this game is it changes every... It's like every loop or every episode, I'll take a second bow, sure. Or third bow. It's like at the end of every episode, my understanding is different than it was before. Does that make sense? So where is she? Because right here is where the loop should start, like, real soon. Not sure. Okay. Since we can't find Equitia Cistern, I can check off my list. We have all of these plaques to look for. There's also a cave behind the theater. Where you take a right and then another right. Not this, right? Ulpius loves Scintilla. Corrected to Ulpius killed Scintilla. We should definitely find Ulpius soon. I still don't know where he is, but I probably can just use my my inventory like quest maker thing to make that happen. My quest maker. That's not the right word. My this right here. Like Ulpius should be on here, right? Right there, permanent solution. So we were told to come to the cave. Take 2 rights. I think we're going that way. But in the meantime, I'm also going to look around real quick. What's over here? Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Oh, this place is huge. Holy shit. Oh, my God. This place is enormous. A bottle of wine. We'll take it. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus. They're everywhere. Oh, this is kind of scary. What's in here? Oh, graffiti. Really hard to tell what that is. Hard to tell what that is. This says the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Okay, well, fun times. A note from Livia. The place is called Accursed. Livia is the one who knows that we're dead and knows that we're all quote-unquote bloodless shadows. The place is called Accursed. Here, Titios offers up his innards to be torn, stretched out over 9 fields. You, Tantalus, cannot catch the drops of water, and the tree you grasp at eludes you. You, Sisyphus, attack or pursue the stone that always returns. Ixion turns and follows after himself and flees. And the 49 Pelides, who dared to plot the destruction of their cousins, their husbands, fetch again with incessant labor the water they have lost. Are these all descriptions of the statues around the town? The golden statues? We know Sisyphus. Tantalus, is this the one who is reaching for the apple on the tree? I don't know. Are these people, like statues with bottles trying to get water out of the lake? Olivia, you are a mess. Okay, we're just going exploring. We're just gonna sort of use the oh Jesus Christ, use the rest of this loop. To explore as we can. Oh, there's arrows in there. I thought there might be something in there. Hello. Why can't I get these arrows? Got it. Let me out of here. Process of fighting, process of fleeing. Oh, it's kind of hard to see. I should have 2 golden bows now in my inventory. Wooden bow. Not that it matters. I'm just collecting them, I guess. These are climbable. Jump away from them. Yep, okay. Which one of these bows is golden? This one. Okay, so what's going on here? A Roman plaque. Pluto, father of riches. Pluto Dispater. Sen dia def. That's one of the plaques. Should be. The Roman plaque. Cool. This is the secret Christian shrine plaque from my list. Done. A wooden carving. With a symbol of a fish. Looks like it might be religious in nature, I'll say. Okay. Carved a fish onto this. Interesting. Sculpture of Minerva, which has been toppled.
I said, please leave. You're trespassing.
Who the hell are you? Stone carving with a symbol of a fish carved into it. It looks like it might be religious in nature. I'll say. Who is this person? I don't want to trespass. Hi.
The many shall suffer.
What happened?
For the sins of the one.
Lock me in. I will fear no evil. I kind of want to see what you're doing over here. I just took a lot of fall damage. Is there more dialogue? Wooden carving. Oh my god, what's happening? That door's locked. It's fine. A loaf of bread, a stone disc. Graffiti. Love your enemies, pray for those who persecute you. Countered by to the lions with you, cultists. James 1 verses 2. Let's test my memory. James 1 verses 2 through 3. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters. Oh, I don't remember exactly the wording for the next part. When you face trials of any kind. Okay. We need to get to Sentius, but I don't... yeah. This way? This way? This way? We need to get out of here. Oh, we've done it. Dope. So Sentius still wants to sacrifice himself because he wants to live forever. Let's see what he thinks of me now. What's the second verse there? For the testing of your faith produces perseverance or something like that? I used to know it. Oh, buddy. Things are different.
Salve, friend.
Oh.
Mind telling me who you are?
Hi, Galerius. The golden rule is going to be broken soon. I need you to quietly get everyone except Sentius ready to run into the upper cistern when the ground starts to rumble. This is new. This is very new. Okay, let me just think really quickly. How am I planning on... What is the route forward for how to beat this game and this problem? Because I need a key out. Sentius has the key. Maybe there's another key. Maybe there's another way out. What are the odds you could convince everyone to get ready to leave? Low, right? I guess I'll click the option, but I don't know that it's going to work. The golden rule is going to be broken soon. I need you to quietly get everyone except Sentius ready to run into the upper cistern where the ground starts to rumble.
What? That's a big ask. But something tells me you're not kidding. All right, I'm going to stick my neck out and believe you. But I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
Okay, I kind of regret doing that. Because I think that's probably what you do on the loop when you eventually beat the game. You know? Let's go test some stuff real quick, though. And I don't think I'm that close to beating the game. I haven't even met some of the characters. So let's try this first. Let's go to Sentius and see what he says. Your dialogue,
behavior I
Horatius?
trust. What is it, citizen?
Nope.
All right.
Let's try Sentia, and then we'll try Scintilla.
Ugh, this place. Ugh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. What do you want?
Is there any new options on any of this dialogue?
I'm Sentia. What are you?
Why are you dressed like that? Charming.
Ugh, what? Well, that.
No new dialogue options. Okay.
I trust.
Sentia is kind of boring. Not her fault necessarily, just kind of boring. All right, Sentius. What do you remember?
I thought I told you to get
Yep.
out of my villa.
Okay.
I'm bored with you.
Dang, I have a small regret that I didn't ask him the options for what happened. For like, hey, I suspect Ulpius. Hey, I suspect blank and blank. I think that's basically the only dialogue we... we didn't get done, but
Ave.
we didn't get it done. I think I can make it over to that gap right there. Oh, yeah, I can. Not that it matters.
If you're snooping around in my possessions, you're wasting your time.
Okay, this is the, thanks for adopting me. I'm wasting my time here, huh? There's Denarius. Denarii, which I can't do anything with. Okay. Well. We still need to try and get Galerius elected. And we need to find Equitia. So let's go straight to Equitia.
On your best behavior, I trust.
Absolutely. Just trying to stop this world from existing.
A new face, Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Well, can I ask some questions about escaping the underworld?
I beg your pardon?
What? Livia was right. We're in the underworld.
Oh my, that is quite a lot to take in. You'll have to give me a moment. Let's see. If that is indeed the case, I suppose we'd better figure out what to do about it, hadn't we? We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod
We've
and
heard
son
this
of
part,
Jupiter.
but I want to listen to it again.
Orpheus, a Thracian poet. Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero. Hercules
These are
was
our
able
options.
to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina or some other guide.
Here's what's amazing about Equitia. You might be the most well-adjusted human I've ever met. I said to you, the conspiracies are true. The person you saw on the corner of the street yelling about the apocalypse is right. And Equitia said, give me 3 seconds to... Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Wow. I'd better get back to it.
May Fortuna guide you.
Also, I have a flower for you.
Ave again. Did you find what you need?
Someone wanted me to give you this flower.
Oh, how lovely. It just happens to be my favorite, too. Who do I have to thank for this?
I'm supposed to tell you it's from your secret admirer and that they'll keep their distance. They just want you to know that you're loved.
I see. So,
Oh,
it's from Galerius,
snap.
then?
You know already?
Of course I do. I think everyone in the city knows. That man is a wonderful human being, and my favorite person in the world. But he is the least subtle secret admirer you could imagine. The way he looks at me with those puppy dog eyes.
Oh my god.
Plus, he's been trying for weeks to get his hands on this
Oh
flower.
my god.
He went to so much effort, too. Suspending that rope above the lake, inventing that pulley device, all on his own.
Now that's love.
He'd just stand there each morning, looking at the flower, trying to summon the courage to seize it. Oh, my heart.
Incredible. Incredible. Also, Galerius looks like Mr. Clean, and once I started thinking that, I can't stop thinking it, and it's cursed this incredible character in my mind. What should I tell him?
Tell that adorable oaf that my Vestal's vow of chastity ends once I turn 36. So if we ever make it out of here, and he doesn't mind waiting a few years, then tell him I love him too.
I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that.
I hope so.
Wow!
See you again soon, I hope.
What an incredible twist that was. First off, your vow of chastity ends. Didn't know that. Second off, you already knew.
Don't you just love springtime?
I thought I told you to gather every single goddamn person in the city. Mr. Clean. Galerius looks busy. I should try talking to him again later. Doing what? He does. That's the opposite of busy. What do you fucking mean? Did you save Yulia? Are you gathering people, or are you... Oh, I probably need to end this time loop because of the way this is working. Okay, we'll try and accomplish some other things during this time loop, because since Galerius isn't saving Yulia or that or the other people, and I can't talk to him about being elected, I guess we're just doing some weird stuff here. I've given the flower. We'll check that off the list. I think last episode I was gonna go explore Domitius's area. I have the key now, right? Key to Malleolus's villa? Let's do it. Domitius is gonna be so confused. Domitius will be unavailable until Galerius has finished his errands. I should try talking to him later. Okay. How
come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Could be very wrong about this, but I think I need to restart here. By restart, I mean, get a new time loop going and ask Galerius to do something else. And to do that, I think I will steal, because it's the easiest way, I think. This is confusing. I think I may have messed up by asking Galerius to do this other stuff. Galerius for magistrate, countered by I would rather drink Aurelia's special brew. Oh, this is where Galerius lives. A poem by Galerius. A love poem to an unspecified woman. Everybody in the entire city knows. My life has been tortuous as the 7 labors of Hercules, orphaned, defeated, and enslaved. Yet, I would suffer it all again gladly, because each loss, wound, and tragedy brought me to you. Radiant as Rome's sacred flame, your bright warmth nourishes my soul. I know I can never touch you, any more than hold Vesta's flame. But to watch and love you from afar, bathing in your glow, is enough. I think Galerius is dope. I'm going to steal 7 denarii. I may be wrong about this. If you're at home sitting there screaming at me, Ryan, you're making the wrong move right now. You don't need to restart. You just need to continue playing. Here's the deal. You may know, because you've either played the game or watched the game or been more thoughtful and figured out what you need to do. I just want to redo the loop because I messed up and I didn't want to ask Galerius to do that.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
I'm going to get out of here. The dread, implacable furies. I also just got a Steam achievement for triggering the this thing by stealing 5 different times. Come on, Sentius, hurry. I just want to try and get Galerius elected and or at least talk to him about it. Get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Thank you. This has got to be one of those games that, like, once you know everything, or, like, once you know what you know. It's my 10th loot, by the way. Once you know what you know, you can't unknow it. It's one of those... It's certainly in that genre of game, for sure.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me
So I'm sure watching other people play it might be a little bit painful. I need you to take care of some things urgently.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
Because I do want you to do these, but then I also want to find you later and talk to you. The Sylphium, sure.
All
Stop
right,
Fabia from entering the shrine. Go.
I'll go.
Okay. Now, let's use our quest. We have one of the 4. Perhaps the gods will help me escape this place. Ask Equitia about appealing to the gods. Technically, I think I've done that. Meet Malleolus for sure. Let's start with that one. Democracy in action. I'm going to go speak to Domitius and then Malleolus. I also... Oh my god. Never mind. I was thinking maybe I need a flower again so that I can still give that to Equitia in this timeline and get a conversation.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
Domitius will be unavailable till Galerius finishes these actions. Okay. Should be relatively quick. Galerius, where are you? What's going on? Galerius, are you bugging out? Last time I came here, listened. Okay. That's the assassin and Galerius. For your service to the Empire, I'll let you live. Run away. Oh, Galerius is fucking booking it, dude. Holy shit. You're gonna go die. That's great. Are you then gonna save Yulia? Yep. Okay. It's just funny to watch him do his thing.
I'm just going to help her swallow this. I think she's going to be all right. Galerius, you're amazing.
Okay, Galerius, I need to find you directly after this because I want to talk to you.
Doing what the new guy told me.
I don't understand. How did... Never mind. Thank you so much for acting as quickly as you did.
He's dead.
Another minute more and we would have lost her.
Can't stay. Places to be.
Galerius, let's talk. Thank you.
Salve again, friend. I went and did as you asked, and it worked. How is it possible that you've just arrived here and you already know everyone and exactly what's about to happen to them?
You'd never believe me if I told you.
Oh, come on. I just did as you asked. The least you can do is level with me. I'll keep it between us. I promise.
Okay. I'm reliving the same day over and over again?
You're toying with me, right? Wait, you're not kidding, are you? That's the only way you could have known. You're a bit like... Oh, what was his name? Sisyphus. Yeah, that's the one. Old King Sisyphus.
How's that?
Sisyphus was a Greek king a long time ago. For daring to think he could outsmart the gods, he was given a terrible punishment. He was forced to push a great boulder up to the top of a hill. Only, just as it reached the top, it would roll all the way back down to the bottom, forcing him to start over and over and over again, for all eternity. Just like you. Actually, now that I think about it, there are a bunch of old stories about the gods punishing people by making them do the same futile task over and over. Tantalus was made to grasp at fruit on a tree he could never quite reach. The Pleiades had to keep fetching water in a sieve. Oh, and Ixion was strapped to a wheel going round and round forever.
I've seen that.
But on the bright side, at least you're not stuck in the underworld like
God,
they
it's
all were.
good. Oh, God. Like, at least you're not... Yeah. Well, at least there's that. So, this is amazing. Livia's writing that we found earlier this episode? Or was that last episode? Hinted at something which I was pretty sure I was seeing, which is that Sisyphus was out in the world. So, am I made to understand that we are currently existing in the same city where all of those punishments happened? Sisyphus, Ixion. Ixion, I'm pretty sure, is the one that's tied to a wheel that goes this way. I think I just saw him, or them. I don't know. Go on.
Anyway, I don't know which god you managed to upset to get yourself into this position, friend, but you seem all right to me. So, I'll tell you what. I'll keep doing whatever I can to help you. And you just focus on finding a way to break the cycle you're in.
You're a good man, Galerius.
Oh, that's kind of you to say. Now, I'm going to keep your secret. Although, it's not as if I'll remember this next time we talk anyway, right?
It's true.
Oh, and if our conversations ever start to annoy you, just tell me you're busy. I know when I'm not wanted. May fortune smile on you, friend.
Galerius, I need to talk to you about other stuff.
I saw you slide down that rope before. Very impressive. And strange, too, since that device you used is... Oh, of course. Anyway, I'm sorry to ask, but is there any chance you'd be willing to do me a...
Sorry, I've heard all of this before. I already delivered a flower to Equitia on your behalf.
What? How did you know? Oh, I see. We talked about it in a previous loop, didn't we? Well, what did she say?
She knew it was from you. She asked me to tell you that once she turns 36, she's allowed to marry and that she loves you too.
Venus, that is the best news I've ever heard in my life. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Aww.
You have no idea how happy you've made me. I wish there was something I could do to thank you properly, but
Steam
I
achievement.
don't have much to offer you. All I can do is tell you where there's a secret stash of coins you might be interested in.
Is this the one behind the door? I'm listening.
In the rock tunnel, near the stairs, there's a little doorway set into the rock. Inside, if you look carefully, you can see a chest. Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path, and I'm not game to move it. If you can figure out how to get past it, I reckon there might be a small fortune waiting for you. I hope that helps in some way.
I love it. We've already found that, but that's fine. How do we get you elected? Ever thought about running for magistrate yourself?
I bounced the idea around once or twice. Mainly as a way
Sentius
to
is
get
never
back.
going to do
From
it.
what I hear, Malleolus... maybe that's not such a bad thing.
If Malleolus runs, he'll break the golden rule.
If you can do that, and Sentius is the only
that's
candidate
right.
left, I'll run against him. Deal?
I forgot that we needed to get Malleolus to drop out.
All right, friend.
Cool.
Hope you find a way to break that cycle you're in.
Me too, Galerius. Anything else? That should be everything, right?
Salve again? No.
My
What's on your
Sisyphean
mind?
friend. All right, that's
All
everything. Cool. So,
Welcome.
done. What to do next? Let's start just let's go meet Malleolus, because now that we've talked to Galerius, Domitius should be free. We can finally enter Malleolus's villa.
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not? Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment, it being election day.
Okay.
Whatever. Just remember.
If you say so. He isn't accepting visitors, huh? Be a shame if somebody just walked in. Oh, don't mind me. It's just that I have a key. Anything over here? Secrets? Secrets? Oh. Secrets? No secrets. Please don't fall to your death.
Thank you. Thank you. I am
He's warming up for his speech.
deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate.
Let's snoop around first before we talk to him, right? I'm deeply thankful to have been elected your magistrate. Thank you very much. A vase. Okay. A big old bust of a young boy's head. Perfect. Any money I can steal? Malleolus seems like a dickhead. A note from Ulpius. Ulpius, to his lost love, may God watch over you. Please know that I held on as long as I could, but without you, my life is meaningless. I only hope we meet again in Gan Eden, which is not a thing I've ever heard before. Gan Eden. Some sort of afterlife? Note from Yulia. A suicide note, presumably directed at Malleolus. Yulia to her captor, Malleolus and Claudia, curse you to the depths. By the time you read this, I'll already be dead, because death is preferable to another day in debt bondage to you. May vultures peck out your livers in Tartarus for all of eternity. These are their tiny little quarters. Damn. Looking for anything. Okay. Why is it blue red there? Floor is blue. Let's talk to Malleolus. Hey, little turd. Greek statue of a lion. I need to convince you to not
doesn't
run.
Usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
Oh, maybe it's your story before you got here that I can use against you, the Quinctius stuff. But let's ask the general questions first. What's your story?
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
I'd be practicing my victory speech. What will you do if you win?
I'm glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
How will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
What makes you sure that it's not real?
The person making a claim bears the onus of proving that claim. Can you do that? Can you prove the Golden Rule is real?
Here's the thing. We have a logic problem here. The proving of the Golden Rule being real, I could do that, but the proving of it would cost us so much that it's not worth proving it. And that's the problem. If I proved it, we wouldn't be able to sit around and have this debate. It's definitely real.
Nonsense. There's no way you can prove that. If it was real and you'd seen someone break it, then you'd be dead already.
Which is basically just what I said. How do we approach this? There's some big dialogue options here. I'm reliving the same day over and over again. The Golden Rule is broken each time. I sound like a person on the street corner yelling about the apocalypse. I don't know that you'll trust me. Why would you? You have much to gain and no reason to trust me. I found a book called The Myth of the Golden Rule. This is option number 2. Whoever wrote it obviously died because they refused to accept the Golden Rule. I don't even buy that as an argument, but maybe it's worth trying. What would it take to prove to you it's real? Books, notes? That's option 3. Option 4, even if I can't prove it, if I'm right, then accepting it will avert disaster. If I'm wrong, accepting it will make the city a better place. Isn't that a good thing? I like this a lot. Let's try number 3 first. What would it take to prove it to you?
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
He's got a point. I did find a book, in case that matters to you.
You mean that book next to a golden statue in the theater? Tell me, how do you know that statue wasn't put there by Sentius himself? You can't know, can you?
The accent. Theater. The voice acting in this game is a lot of fun. Okay, let's sound like we're on the corner. I'm reliving the same day over and over again. The apocalypse is coming for you.
What? Oh, I see what's happening here. Another poor, vulnerable soul taken in by Sentius's machinations. He won't get away with this much longer.
It's got to be his past that is the secret to unlocking his withdrawing from the race. Even if I can't prove it, if I'm right or if I'm wrong, it's the better call.
I disagree. I'll be guided by what is best for the city's people, and that means giving them the freedom to do as they wish.
Okay. Nothing's going to convince you.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
What do you think about the Golden Rule?
You mean the children's fable exploited by Sentius to scare us all into doing what he wants?
What about Scintilla's disappearance?
Of course not. But as I always say, if Sentius can't protect his daughter, how can we trust him to protect this city?
This straw man argument is so funny in hindsight. Well, he can't even protect his daughter. Then he can't protect the city. Is hilariously correct, despite being like riddled with you know. This argument is so holy. It's Swiss cheese that's had a couple more holes drilled into it, but it ends up sort of being correct. Not that he can't protect his daughter, but that he was willing to sacrifice his daughter to keep himself in power. What won't he sacrifice to make that happen? What aren't you telling me?
Look, if you're trying to find her, you may wish to check the cisterns beneath this villa. Domitius says he saw a body there some weeks back.
You're right.
Of course, just to be clear, I take no responsibility for what happens to you down there.
You're sort of accidentally right about where to find Scintilla. I want you to withdraw from the election.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa uninvited and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Well, as soon as you win, you're going to break the Golden Rule. That's not going to work.
Don't talk nonsense. There's no such thing as the Golden Rule.
You're going to arrest Sentius for treason, sentence him to death by gladiatorial combat.
How could you possibly know that?
I know the future. I've seen you do it. I know the future.
Nonsense! This is nonsense! I don't know how you know about my plans, but I'm absolutely sure Sentius is involved somehow. And now, I'm going to enjoy watching Domitius kill him even more. Now, get out of here!
God damn it.
You outstayed your very limited welcome.
Are you sure? Can we talk a little bit more?
Get out of
God
my
damn
villa before I...
Ah! Okay, we're just going to search very quickly to see if there's anything else around here that could be useful. Where's Ulpius going to throw himself from? Because that's the next thing we'll do in this time loop. Is that.
Still here.
I'm leaving. Oh, there's also a second floor. Red carpet. Okay. Just looking around, see what there is to see. Somebody's in there crying. Is it Claudius? That's the only person it could be, right? It's who we haven't met.
You're not supposed to be in here.
I know. Where do you keep your valuables? Claudia is what I meant to say. Did I say Claudius? Can we talk?
Talk? What business could you possibly have with me?
Yeah, were you locked in here? Wait a second. What is going on? Why are you locked in this room?
My marital affairs are no concern of yours. Thank you very much.
Kinky. What's your story? My notes on Claudia so far. Malleolus' wife. Made Yulia do demeaning tasks. Gonna add locked in, question mark? I need to ask Malleolus about Quinctius. I'm gonna make sure that's on my list so that I don't forget it, because we're gonna have to do it in a different time loop, unfortunately. What's your story?
I think a better question is, why am I being interrogated by a stranger who just barged into my villa? I
know,
have
but-
quite enough marriage trouble already, without having to explain to my husband why I am receiving strange men in private.
You know a way out of here?
Preferably the way you came in, by which I mean, please leave.
Is that going to be the end? You know anything about Scintilla's disappearance?
The dainty little thing from next door. Of course not. As much as I despise her father, I would never lay a finger on that poor, sweet child.
I think you're hiding something.
Well, I've had quite enough of this.
Yeah.
Demetrius, come quickly.
Oh, shit.
We're being robbed.
Is this going to end the, anything in here? We're going to have to come back and talk to Claudia again, I think. Denari.
Do I need to call Demetrius?
Okay. We'll have to come back. Probably in another time loop. And try some different lines, including asking about why you're Quinctius and... I'm getting out. Shit. How do I leave? This way. I'm leaving. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little stirkus? If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
Hold up, 1 second. What's a stirkus? You cheeky little manure. Okay. Love that. Do you have any new dialogue after we've talked
What
to
now?
your person?
Whatever.
Nope. You'll be watching. I get it. Okay. Let's go find... Ulpius.
Isn't
Fear
the
is
great
proof
temple
of a
majestic,
degenerate mind.
keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess. No sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have a newcomer. Strangely dressed fella. Funny accent, too.
A traveler from a faraway land, then?
Seems that way.
Then let's make sure he feels welcome, shall we?
Of course, priestess.
Hold up, real quick. We should talk to Georgius about Kabosh, because I believe that's who we need to talk to. Kabosh is still missing.
A fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I.
Of course, of course. You want to know where I'm from, but I really want to ask you some questions.
My friend, your words intrigue me more and more. But yes, very well. Ask me what you will.
I'm looking for Kabosh, and I heard you were one of the last people to see him.
Ah, I knew this day would come. I do not wish to lie to you, my friend, but even discussing this matter is dangerous. Please, let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash.
Oh, good line. I like that. A figure of speech. Let us leave the live coals safely beneath the ash. You can trust me. We foreigners have to stick together, remember?
Very well. But the magistrate would not look kindly upon this, so please keep it to yourself.
Okay.
For several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest. And yet the next day, when I return, the food is missing.
The food is missing. How strange.
So I ask, who or what is devouring the food in this temple? Stranger still. Once I sat in front of my shop like the 100-eyed Argus until dawn to see if I could spot a thief going in. But do
No
you
thief.
know what I saw?
No thief. The Temple of Demeter is the thing that goes underneath the city. That must be Kabosh underneath the city. Or I don't know if that's Kabosh, but at least this is the temple that we're talking about. Do you know what I saw? I have no idea.
Nothing. Nobody entered. And yet when I went to take a look, my offering was gone. It is bizarre, is it not? When I told my friend Kabosh of this at the tavern, he offered to help investigate. He went in, and to my dismay, he was never seen again.
So either Kabosh joined the stranger under the city, or Kabosh was killed by the stranger underneath the city. Where's the Temple of Demeter?
It is the only Greek temple in the city. Head towards the baths, and it is the last building on your right.
We're definitely due a conversation with that person.
I do not think you should pursue this, my friend. It would break my heart to be responsible for 2 people disappearing. But you do not strike me as a kind of person to be deterred by such warnings, so just be careful, I beg you.
I beg you. Georges, I have another conversation for you.
Hey, my friend. Have you discovered anything about my vanishing offerings?
No, I have not.
Ah, that is all right. Perhaps another time.
Back to normal. Ah! Back to normal volume. Ah! That is all right. Do you know where I might find a Greek plaque?
And in a city full of Romans, you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus, they copy us, but call him Jupiter. They take Hades and call him Pluto, Persephone, Proserpina. I am flattered that they copy our ideas, but why must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from? At first, I pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left.
Exactly.
To pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Duli. He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he likes shiny things, especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it with him.
Perfect.
In his cell, just opposite the Temple of Demeter.
Perfect. I have to say, I prefer your version of the gods as well, Georges. Or Yorius. I don't remember how you said it, but I prefer your version of the gods as well. I learned them Greek. I don't remember which ones are which.
Paths cross again soon, my friend.
When we speak about Roman gods. Okay. Perfect. Cool. We got the information there. Let's go find Ulpius, and then we have plenty to track down now. A plaque with Dooley. We know the stranger underneath the city. That's going to have to stay for another episode for sure. But I want to try and see if we can catch Ulpius up here, because we still have not met Ulpius. We know that Ulpius loves Scintilla. I don't know what to tell him, because that's the actual Sisyphus, supposedly. That's the way I'm reading that whole conversation. Oh, shit. Who are you?
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
Octavia, I don't know that I know shit about you. Let me look through my entire notes here. There are only a couple people in this game that I don't believe I've met. Octavia, Ulpius, Rufius. Some of them are potentially dead, like Kabosh and Hannibal, who I'm pretty sure is dead. And I think that's it. I don't have any notes for Octavia. I'm fine, thanks. I'm feeling a bit on edge.
That's good, in a sense. If you're not on edge, you've not been paying attention. But on the bright side, once you've been here a few months, it's slightly less terrifying anyway. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the Golden Rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned.
I like Octavia. I like Octavia a lot. We do know from one of the, I think it's from one of the notes that Octavia is a Christian, but that's quiet. But that's the secret. What's your What's your story?
Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go. I used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too, I suppose.
How did you end up here?
Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome 7 months ago, my family and I fled for the Tiber, hoping to escape on a barge. We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people, and they boarded before we could depart. A scuffle broke out, and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water, rising up to hit my cheekbone.
Do you think
I
the
woke
Romans...
up by the river, near that shrine, and stumbled across this place.
Do you think the general Roman population knew how to swim? If you know the answer to this, I would love to hear it. I know that, like, Roman baths were a thing. Did the general Roman population know how to swim? Did the Roman elites know how to swim? I'm so curious. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me.
Okay, so maybe not so secret about the Christian. Gods? Sorry, God, don't you mean the gods?
Oh yes, of course. A slip of the tongue.
Of course.
If you like.
You know a way out?
I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out. I don't put a lot of stock in such rumors, but if you're desperate and wealthy, you could look into it, I suppose. If that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until the gods decide our fate.
Thanks, it's definitely a scam.
Oh, I see. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I'm sorry I even suggested it. I won't make that mistake again.
Octavia is sweet. And just very conversationally, adept. If that makes sense. What do you think about the golden rule?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I think about those words a lot. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbors as ourselves and do to them as we'd have them do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin. And that's where I get stuck. Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin?
Oh, it's a fantastic question, Octavia. It's a fantastic question, and it really matters in a place like this. Is this a ticking time bomb where we're all born with a tendency towards sin, and therefore the golden rule will always be broken? Or are we blank slates upon which the cultural expectations were raised inside of, do their best to imprint, a system of morals we then obey? Here's the other thing that's blowing my mind. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one is the code, the golden rule, the code of the city. It's just now hit me that one reason the cultists, the Christians, might be included in this game as an interesting, besides a sociological, historical fun reason, is that phrasing is really close to the opposite. The phrasing of the golden rule is really close to the opposite of a thing that the cultists might believe, which is that the one shall suffer for the sins of the many. Or that the son of their god was sent here to take on the sins of the many and therefore save them. It's really interesting phrasing that I never picked up on before talking to Octavia and being like, wait, is that purposefully phrased that way? I don't know. I don't think so. I think people are fundamentally good.
You don't think that's a little naive?
Absolutely.
I suppose you've never seen what I've seen. Innocent men and women, torn apart in arenas while thousands of Romans look on and cheer.
Maybe you're right. I do stand by what I said, but not for reasons we're going to get into right now.
If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unless, of course, there's some kind of divine intervention.
It's so interesting. Like, what I really admire about this game is that its central premise, the idea of the city, the golden rule, what I would call the central premise of this whole game. A city exists where if you were to sell this game, if you were to describe it, the thing you would start with is a city exists where, and then you would describe the golden rule and its consequences. And the thing about that is that if that is placed at the very center of the game, then the game has permission in every corner of where the game goes to ask you sort of philosophically interesting questions like, is man bent towards sin and towards, is man bent towards sin? Because if so, then the central premise of the game is a flawed one. Like, the central premise of the city is a flawed one, and this isn't a fair experiment. It isn't a fair setup. It's lovely. It's lovely. If you put that right at the center, of course it means that we can do a mystery, but it also means that the game has so much permission to be philosophical and to ask us questions like this. Is Roman society better than ours? Is man bent towards sin? There's going to be some intervention, all right.
I wish I shared your faith.
You're a Christian.
Please keep that to yourself. I know you're not from around here, but things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us his scapegoats. There were executions. It was horrible.
Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
I need to talk to Ulpius.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, shit. Ulpius!
No. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Oh, he sounds
so
sad.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Uh-oh. Where's my mouse at? Ah! My mouse was not working. Uh-oh. Still not working. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. This is so interesting. Do you really think his suicide will break the golden rule?
I don't know, but it's a crime for slaves to take their own lives.
Crime,
and a debt
sin.
bondsman isn't far off.
I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
I will. Ulpius, can we talk?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
No, my goal is to give you hope and to ask you what's wrong first off. But, I was gonna ask you what's wrong. I have some ideas on how to give you hope, but I was gonna ask you what's wrong.
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that culus cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life. I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Scintilla still lives.
No! I can't believe he went through with it. Oh Lord. That poor lamb.
We're still here. Oh, Lord. Was that my fault?
That was not your fault. There's no way you could have given him what he wanted, moments after you arrived.
Is this built so that it has to be a second loop thing, and you do have to prevent it? Like, sorry, like, does that make sense? Like, I thought for sure there the game was going to give me the option to say, Scintilla still lives. I know of a way out of here. You won't be in debt forever. I can pay off your debt. It's some sort of thing like that. And it didn't give me any of the options. I wonder if I chose the wrong options, or if the game makes you watch that happen one time and then walk through more dialogue options the second time. It's more interesting if you have to go through it a second time, I think. So I would choose that if I were the game developer, because then you get to see the forks in the tree and be like, hey, if you bring this up, maybe he reconsiders. If you bring this up, you know. This is the part that's blowing my mind. His suicide did not break the golden rule. What does that mean?
Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the golden rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
Does that mean... That's a weird line, right? Am I meant to interpret that line as, my God, the Christian God, views suicide as a sin, period? What happens now?
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all. And I'd best pray for poor Ulpius.
Question answered. Suicide is not a sin in this game. Very, very interesting. Did that break a floor in Malleolus? Hold up. Does that... We got to try one last thing before we call this a stream for the day. A recording for the day. Did that break a hole in Malleolus' villa, which I can then go through? I think it might have. Is it a way into the cistern? What is that? Oh, hi, Rufius. We'll talk to you another time.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
Hi, Equitia. Let me just in here. Just let me in here. I mean, that's very cool that it did this. I'm very confused why I can't do anything with this body. I thought maybe I'd be able to loot it. I'd be able to find something on his body. Why does this exist if I can't come down here and do anything with it? Does that make sense? I'm not trying to be crass. I'm trying to be like, from a game design perspective, it's cool that the environment changes, but what? I don't know. Either way, we're going to have to call it an episode right there. What an interesting episode. Holy cow. We finally met Ulpius. We finally met Malleolus. We finally met Claudia. We've met Octavia. Oh, we've learned a lot in this episode, and we have plenty left to try in another time loop. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like down below. I will see you tomorrow with a brand new episode. Until then, have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.